Afternoon all. Well, I'm back down Scratby for another go. The wind's eased off, there's still a little bit of swell there. But I'm fishing a totally different tide today. Obviously I fished the mid-ebb the other day and didn't do very good. But I'm now trying the flood in the darkness. It's about low water exactly now. I don't know how it's going to fish, because if you see there's a low behind me. Whether that fill up, I don't know, but you see in the distance there, that's all low there, that's all full already, it's shallow as hell. But I'm just seeing how far I can fish on the flood. Obviously I come up the beach, there's like a hump here, and then it obviously drops to low. Whether I can fish the first 3 hours of the tide, I don't know, but I'll fish in the darkness and hopefully there'll be a few more hounds about. Well, rig-wise, I've got the old faithfuls, 2-hook flapper on one and a single clip down paternoster with a 2-hook panel on the end. I'll probably do better if I had for hounds if I had 2 clip down panels, but I've only got about 7 or 8 hermit crabs. I ain't got a load, so I'll keep the hermits for the clip down panel, and the 2-hook flap I'll just put bits of squid on that. Just thought it's a bit different. If the hounds didn't feed the 2-hook flap, I might throw up a few whiting and dabs and doggies and bits and pieces just to keep me amused, sort of thing. It's still a bit drizzly with rain. It's been a bit of a drizzly, horrible old day, really, isn't it? Well, typical bank holiday, isn't it? But I'll get these baited up and get these out. Well, as I was waiting for that to see if that rain stopped at all, I didn't get the bait out till quite late, so it's all a bit frozen. Well, that time I had to put a whole squid on the panel because the crabs are still frozen solid. You can see the frost on them. I'd try and pull that out. All I'll do is pull the tail off, innit? Just then with some little itty bitty claws in my hand. So that is a whole squid at the minute. Well, traps are set. Let's hope we get a fish or two. And we haven't pushed off the beach. There's a bit of swell here. And well, that's the start of the flood now. Flood is definitely through, I can see by the way the lines are behaving. But the other day when I fished on the last of the ebb and the flood come through, as soon as the flood come through, there's tons of weed. Well, let's hope it ain't like that today, but this place seems to change day to day. High pressure has picked up a bit, so I don't really like high pressure. That's why I've come to get a bit of darkness. I think that fish better with darkness for hounds, because that high pressure doesn't help. High pressure's never good for fishing, is it? I think I might have a little bite on the right hand rod. Let's hope it is a bite and not weed. There weren't no fish, but there's no bait either. There's a little bit of mayweed, but it weren't too bad. I can live with that. Well, I'd better get this baited back up and get it back out again. Well, the weed issue is a lot better than I thought that'd be. I'd thought normally on the first of the tide, the strongest part of the tide, is when you get more weed, and there wasn't a lot there, so I'm very happy with that. And if anyone starts poking me a bit of plastic I took off a leader knot. I did pick it up and I'll put it near the bait board until I go home, and I'll chuck it in the bin at them. My bait board is getting worse, isn't it? I need to get a new one months ago. Another bit's broke off, poor old trusty. Well, I just reeled in the other rod, and I think I talked a bit too soon and talked it up. A nice lot there, a nice lot on the trace there, and I picked several bits off. I hate mayweed. Horrible stuff. Oh, horrible. Well, I think I might have a bite. One of them rods have gone right round in the tide. Well, I don't know what happened there. That went right round in the tide. There's a bit of weed on it, but there's no fish, so something caused it to break free, but I don't know what. Well, the first few casts have been dire. No fish. I know I ain't fishing during the best time. The start of the tide's never really normally that good. And there's a hell of a lot of mayweed there. It's been a bit of a pain in the arse. But there you go. There's a lot more swell than when I started. Obviously, as the tide make and rise, the swell then come over the sandbanks, and there's a fair bit of swell here now. It doesn't look that bad on the camera, it's just hit and miss. But let's hope we get a hound or two and it start getting dark. I know the older hermits are now started to defrost, and I'm using them now. But yeah, what I'm getting is lots and lots of mayweed. Lucky me. I'm starting to think coming on the strength of the tide weren't a good idea. Just obviously baited up again, and the amount of mayweed was phenomenal. I had to stop 12, 15 times just to stop and pick weed off. That really is quite bad, the mayweed here. Yeah, I'm starting to question my judgment a little, but there you go. You got to be in it to win it. Hopefully when that tide eases it won't be so bad, but then again that was quite bad the other day when I was down here on the low water. But we'll see how it goes. Well, you can see that weed's getting bad. How long it took me to clean this rod off and reel in, and the other one's got right round the tide and bent over for weed. That's getting relentless. If that doesn't ease up soon, then there's only one place I'll be going, and that's home. There's only so much you can put up with. That's not effective fishing at all, is it, like this? It's just gone right round along the beach. Well, at the minute, both rods are in. I'm just sitting on the beach. I just reeled them both in. Took me ages clearing all the mayweed off and little bits of weed all the way along the line. That's relentless. That's just getting near the point of being unfishable, really. What I'm going to do is have a coffee and leave it for 20 minutes, maybe half an hour, till it gets dark, and hopefully as the tide ease, that weed would ease off, because the first 2 hours of the tide are the strongest. So hopefully after that it won't be too bad. There's got 2 hopes. If it doesn't ease off, then that'll be me going home. I was really gagging to get a few hounds tonight. It really was. It's nice to get a couple in through in the dark, so we don't know they're here. Well, I'll give it 20-25 minutes, and I'll just stick out my left hand rod just to test the water. Excuse the pun. But yeah, let's see how that go. Because that was weed sitting getting pulled around in 5 minutes. Well, that ain't no good. So we'll just see how it go now. There's a little test cast. Hopefully that weed is eased off, because that was relentless. And hopefully, as it started to get dark, there might be a few hounds here. Them old hounds do love the old dark a bit more, don't they? No doubt about it. I've also moved my beach buddy back a bit. The waves are now starting to come up to the lump on the beach, the high point. So I've moved it back. Hopefully the swell won't come over it. And if it do come over it, that'll stop quickly sink into the sand and run away and won't get me wet. I haven't fished here on the flood in years, so just got to see how it goes. There's a bit of swell there now, so hopefully that doesn't come over. Well, as you can see, the old test cast didn't go very well. Instead of getting mayweed, that's conventional weed now. That's on the leader knot there. There's a fairly good clump. You can see them on my little fat hand. There's a lot of weed there, just on the leader knot. That come round in like 5 minutes. Decisions. Well, I've been here 2 hours and not had a fish, so I don't know if it's worth staying till dark or going home. And with that, that's 9 o'clock. Everything's packed away and that's home time. I thought I'd have come over that hump, but I hadn't. But yeah, the middle of the tide just seemed just a weed pit. There you go, that's life. I'm sure I'll come again the next couple of days and get the last couple of hours of the tide where the weeds seem a lot better. Well, it's been a lovely night. I avoided the rain. I should have come on the low water. As we all know, I've been peeing down the rain all day and I don't want to sit in the rain, that's no fun. Picking off mayweed in the rain in my cup of tea. Alright then, well I'm now going to set off them and have a nice cup of tea. Sorry I didn't get no fish, but that's fishing for you, that's life.